So this is a live video in case someone tuned in late. And y'all know I don't really go live. But this is my third time going live. I'm just sitting here at my desk um, watching some YouTube. I'm done working. I ain't got nothing else to do. But hold on 1 second. Why I can't see the chat? Just if I'm on my phone, let me see if I hit something. Okay. What up, education and learning? Hey, from the land. What up, homie? So, I just wanted to go live and just talk. What up, keeping it plain? Said dropping those body bags. What they got dropping heat rocks. Sheba Moon Cat, what's up, baby girl? I see you with your little chocolate cute self. Yeah, did you see that, Sugar Hayes? But yesterday or 2 days ago, I found out that it was a lot of drama going on with young Pharoah and his baby mama. But I've been telling people what's gonna happen. See, when men grow up and begin to start a family and have little babies and kids, shit change. I'm telling you, your attitude change, your ways change. A lot of times you can't do what you used to do when you was running around single. I should be a relationship expert and start a relationship channel because this is my subject and I'm good at it. A lot of times I do it on Facebook. Never on YouTube though. But I might start it. There's two things that Chief X was going to do. Before Kevin Samuels came out, I was going to start talking about relationships and things like that. But I said, nah, I don't want people to think I'm a copycat. But I am going to do it probably at the beginning of the year. Become an actual real YouTuber and have an MMA channel. Because mixed martial arts, the organization of UFC, is my favorite sport. I haven't missed a UFC fight or UFC event since day one in the 90s. You know what I mean? So when the UFC and MMA came out, I was gung-ho because I used to wrestle high school. Wrestling was my sport in high school. And I was pretty good. And I regret a lot of things, not following up and getting my scholarship and going to college wrestling. Also, I used to box a little bit. I had 4 fights. I was 3-1. And the only fight, my daddy was in my life, but the only fight my daddy showed up to was the last one. And it was a white boy, and he whooped my ass. So I was 3-1. I bailed out, then I just kept wrestling. But I forgot my goddamn point. Oh, anyway. So, when you start having kids as a young man, shit change. Attitudes change. What you got to do change. What you have to be changes. So, young Pharoah left his baby mama. He has a newborn right now, and he has another baby by her. That baby might be 1 or 2, I don't know. And let me just start off saying this: young Pharoah's baby mama. She's what I coined this frame. So everybody uses it now, like on social media, like on Facebook. When you hear the word chakra princess, that's a term coined by Chief X. When I start first using, oh, she's a chakra princess, people will just die and laugh, and then people start stealing and they use it. So when you hear me say the term chakra princess, I'm talking about sisters who are into like chakras, kundalini, yoga, crystals, astrology, tarot cards, money oil, and all that pseudoscience stuff. I call that group of women chakra princesses. So young Pharaoh's baby mama, his last one, he has one before that. He left both of his baby mamas now. So young Pharaoh's baby mama's a chakra princess. And when she talks, you can hear her on her channel. It's called Golden something. Whatever. But you can hear it and you know she's really, really, really uneducated. Not uneducated. Let me not use that word. She needs science bad. Okay, she's a stone cold chakra princess. Tarot cards, astrology, chakras, kundalini, crystal healings, all that type of stuff. So, would you say you can jack a joker up with some good rest? Yeah, yeah. People think because I'm 5'6". That means something. Shit. I ain't had nothing but 6-footers I laid down. Oh, so she's a real chakra princess. But outside of that chakra princess talk that she do, when she just talks in general and expresses herself, young Pharaoh's baby mama, first of all, she's very gorgeous in my opinion. I want to just take her up under my wing and just be her counselor. I just want to be her counselor. I want to be uncle to her. It's nothing sexual that I want to get at her like that. But she's a beautiful young girl to me. And no makeup, to me, she's a beautiful young girl. She don't have that bad bitch look, you know what I mean? She just has a natural hair. She's just a pretty young, very, very young girl. I like big girls, so she ain't my type. But I want to take her up under my wing and counsel her right now because she needs some serious counseling. She needs a big brother. She needs to get away from these young people that's all on her page and on Pharoah's page because they just ruining her mind. But she's a sweet, genuine person. I'll let people know if I think somebody's full of shit. She's just genuinely naive. I'm not that conscious like that, but she's a sweet woman. She's a genuine woman, and when she talks, you can believe every word out her mouth. You can see that she was very, very submissive. She would let Pharaoh run everything, dictate to her, and young Pharoah was a total control freak over her. Okay? And she's been exposing in the last week. So, now she didn't call the cops and claim young Pharaoh whooped her ass in the house because sometimes she goes to, I don't know if she's in a CNA class or school or medical assistant, but when she goes, since they broke up, she needs somebody to watch the kids, so she left the kids with young Pharoah for an hour. She comes back and finishes school, and comes to pick the kids up. He's trying to force her to apologize before she can get any of her stuff out the house and her babies out the house. And she tells the story where she kept calling him. He kept calling and paging. Not paging. She kept calling and texting her to come get the kids while she was in school. So when she comes over to pick up the kids from the damn fool, he's over there abusing her, cussing her out. He got a white nanny, y'all. If y'all don't know. Young Pharoah has a white nanny. And the white nanny and young Pharaoh's in cahoots against the baby mama. Some sick fuck shit, right? So, he's abusing her while she comes to pick up the kids. And then she wants to come pick up some of her stuff in the house because he kicked her out the house. Now, as a man, it don't go down like that. As a man, when you a man and you living with a woman and she has the kids, the house goes to the woman. When me and my baby mama, my 2 daughters' mama broke up, she stayed and I left. I found my own way. It's the opposite with Pharoah because he's not a man like that. You know what I mean? I think he went and got her an Airbnb, but he put her out his house. Right? So, she wants to pick up some of her stuff as she picks up some of the kids, and he's trying to force her to apologize because he's a control freak. And she's not apologizing because she didn't do nothing wrong. Right? So I've been following the story, and I don't really follow these stories or even gossip and talk about this shit. This shit is not something I do, y'all. But I was just sitting here and blowing a joint. I said, let me just share it. I wanted to share this because there's a bunch of ironic stuff going on. So I guess he hits her, kicks her, and does all kind of shit, whatever. Then the nanny's in there with him. Listen to what I'm saying. Young Pharoah talk all this cracker shit, white man's a devil shit. Him and Pharoah Suit and Seti gets together and you should talk all this shit. And now young Pharoah has a white nanny that cares for the kids when the mother and him is not around. How ironic. How hypocritical this shit is. So check it out. She doesn't like the white nanny. She tried to fire the white nanny. Young Pharoah is not allowing this white nanny to be fired. Now, it's up to the woman, the mother of the children, to be okay with the nanny. Right? The man's opinion don't matter in that situation. Right? And I'm old school. But the mama of her kids have to be happy with the nanny who's watching her kids. That's just fucking common sense. She has to be pleased with her, and she can't stand the nanny right now. She feels as this white nanny has come between her and young Pharoah. Not really young Pharaoh's fault, but the nanny, the white nanny, is intervening in their affairs and taking Pharaoh's side, and she doesn't want the white nanny fucking with her kids anymore. Pharaoh's making videos on Instagram or wherever he's at, trying to force the white nanny on his baby mama, and wondering, and like she can't fire her. This is gonna be the nanny. I'm like, what the hell is that? How are you forcing a white nanny on your baby mama? So she goes in on other videos to talk about how she just really wants to expose young Pharoah. Young Pharoah, baby mama said, all the exposing young Pharoah has done of all these people, he is guilty of those same things that he's exposing them of. We already knew that, but the young Pharoah crowd, his wife, and all these people are naive. Young Pharoah has been scamming people since he came on the scene, right? So now, all kind of tea about to be put out, and young Pharoah exposing about to go on all over the internet, because she's about to go in. Just 3 hours ago, she's sitting here crying on a live, called the police on young Pharoah. I don't know if they're going to arrest him. I didn't continue watching the video. I ain't got that kind of time, but they at young Pharaoh's house because a young Pharoah hit her, kicked her, and done all kind of shit. Then young Pharoah goes on the rant on the video. I don't know when this was, last week. And all Pharoah does, he's known for teaching, is the black woman is God. The black woman is God. The black woman is God. Him and Seti. The black woman is God. But here he is on video getting exposed by everybody, and he's talking about these black women ain't shit. They evil. They demons. They ain't shit. They need to work on their attitude, and just totally clowning black women. So, the black woman not God no more. The black woman is wicked and evil to young Pharoah now. Just hypocritical. So I'm sitting back like, I wonder what Pharoah Suit and Seti is thinking, watching this drama, thinking about young Pharoah with this white nanny. Even Pharoah Suit and Seti gotta eat cheese right now and is embarrassed. All this shit talking you niggas been doing, and now the black woman ain't God no more. All this shit talking you doing, now the black woman's a demon, she's evil and wicked, she got behavior problems. And guess what? The motherfucker's fucking with some kind of, with a lot of these ignorant niggas called exotic women. Now young Pharoah fucking with a Latino. Young Pharoah was doing the same thing that Brother Polite did. Once you get a little money, young Brother Polite, you ain't never seen Brother Polite's girlfriends because he's not really married. If you didn't know, those are girlfriends. and they all play around. They're all fucking bisexual. They all got side pieces. Polite's wife got side pieces. Polite got side pieces. I know. I live in LA. I was there when he was talking about that police brutality shit and came down to that LAPD office in West LA and Attorney Malik Shabazz was there with his fronting line ass playing in on this game too. I lost respect for Attorney Malik Shabazz that day. And from then on, I don't trust him, and I think he's a hustler too. Who has he represented in the community ever? So here, Polite and not Minister, Attorney Malik Shabazz down at this police department when police claimed the police abused him and all this old shit and done something to him, and he's suing the police department. You guys ain't never heard shit. I was right there recording live when they did a presentation at the police department. Polite, I'm standing right next to Polite, but at this time, he really didn't know who I was. I'm at the police station desk, West LA, standing right next to Polite and watching him fake and grab forms like he's filing a police report. But before that, he told everybody else he already filed the police report and he's suing them. I'm sitting right there recording. The video's on my YouTube. Polite never made a police report. He called Malik Attorney Shabazz out there to put on a motherfucking show for the people, and they had cameras and shit, and they both was up here bullshit. I'm like looking at Malik Attorney Shabazz like this. You niggas is lame and liars. Yeah. So anyway, Young Pharoah has always tried to be like Polite. He's pushing polygamy, which is okay, which is fine. But a lot of these youngsters don't understand and couldn't live a polygamous life. You'll ruin it because you don't have respect for your mate. Every queen needs her own queendom. So if you're gonna do polygamy, most women should have their own home. She lives like I got a friend. He's married to 2 women, but each woman have their separate home. The 2 women shouldn't be living in the same home, but everybody does it different. But for peace, a queen should have her own queendom. So he spends a week here and then he goes there for a week here, and then sometimes he might 3 days here, 4 days there. But it's peace because the 2 women aren't interacting even though they're friends. But in young Pharoah's mind and the way he does it is chaotic. His woman gave him permission. We can have a polygynous relationship, but I have to approve the woman. This is what she says on her video. But I have to approve the women, which is fine. That's how it usually go down. If you're going to be married to 2 women or have 3 and 4 women and things like that, they have to approve of each other so there can be peace. But Pharoah chose somebody she didn't approve of. She approved of one sister, but she didn't approve of the other. This is the one. So Pharaoh's over here trying to be polygynous with women that his fake wife don't like. Brent putting nannies on her that his wife don't like. Just all chaotic, just a total control freak. So she just exposing him for cheating. Now, when I was growing, I used to cheat. In my 20s and 30s, I was cheating. Just what I did. 8 out of 10 men did that. I've always been honest about it. But Pharoah cheats. She went through, had his shit all the. These nigga had women everywhere. Didn't give a fuck. Has no respect for his wife. So, as a man, like Kevin Samuel says, we are to men. High value men explore their options. But you're supposed to be sexually responsible in doing that. You're just not supposed to be wild. Certain things you don't put in your woman's face. So the woman you're with are not, that stuff shouldn't be in her face. She shouldn't be stressed out. She shouldn't be disrespected because you want to be wild and things. Even if she agreed to that, have some decorum and responsibility with it, and then you can do your thing. Now he's not going to be able to. We'll get into that later. But he was just going wild, screwing everybody, white women, Mexican women, black women. He didn't give a fuck, and he was all in her face, and it's ridiculous. Young Pharoah has been mentally, psychologically and physically abusing this woman. She even told when she got with him, she witnessed him beat his other baby mama's ass. But the black woman is God. See, I can't do this with y'all conscious community, cat. See, you guys are the ones who prop these people up, right? So when I was talking about Polite a minute ago, I was in his presence. I seen his little stepdaughter and all their friends when I was in their presence. I recorded all this. All they have is LBGTQ friends. That's why Polite is in West Hollywood. Excuse me, in Hollywood and West LA area. Black folk don't fuck around like around there in two areas. I'm trying to tell you. We in Inglewood, LA, Compton, Carson, different areas. We don't really fuck around in West LA or in Hollywood. That is totally an area where homosexuality is totally rampant. I used to work in Hollywood as a youth counselor at Los Angeles Youth Network in Hollywood. It was a homeless shelter for minors, right? Because Hollywood has the biggest homeless population in America. Because all people from all 49 states, these young kids have these visions of dreams of being in Hollywood, being a rapper, being some kind of celebrity. So all the minors who run away from home, all in the 49 states, end up in Hollywood, trying to make it, trying to get a started career. And they get to Hollywood and see it ain't what they really thought. So that's why Hollywood has the highest homeless population. So I worked at Los Angeles Youth Network with the center. So I know Hollywood and West LA extremely well. The only time I used to go there is to go to work and come home. I could never even have my kids go to school in Hollywood because they would be totally influenced. They would be totally negatively influenced going to Hollywood High. I would never say, but that's Polite's area, Hollywood West area, in West Hollywood. That's why Polite was in the video with the goddamn tranny that day. You remember? They exposing Polite with it. I'm trying to tell you what's happening in West LA and Hollywood. I don't know what the fuck he did or what's doing with the tranny, but that's why he was in that video cover, because that's the area they hang out in. That's the area Polite hangs out in. That's the area Polite, when he got in trouble with that police bullshit, that's that area. Where all the gays, the trannies, and everybody be at. Right? So, young Pharoah even copies that little U-Jot, the Eye of Ra drawing that Polite wears. Young Pharoah sports that sometimes. My point is, he's always wanted to be like Polite, but hated on Polite because he couldn't be like Polite. Right? Now, they got to talking about, I was watching the video how young Pharoah was talking about he was trying to buy a home and stuff like this. And he couldn't do it. And they not letting him buy a house because he's black. We black, so they didn't qualify us for a house. We black. Just throwing all this bullshit out. I'm trying to tell you, I was a realtor in the state of California, right? For 3 years. I was a licensed real estate agent in the state of California. I showed my credentials. Everybody had seen my license. I'm not just talking shit. So, people don't give a fuck what color you are. If you qualify for a house and somebody's trying to sell their motherfucking house, you're going to get that house. They don't care if you're purple, blue, green, black, white. The bank don't give a shit about none of that. They don't give a shit about none of that. Banks trying to close loans and make a profit. Nobody gives a shit. I can go anywhere I want with cash and buy. So he's telling this fear-mongering story that they didn't let him buy a house because of this, because he's black and all. Straight bullshit. Let me tell you. Once he got to talking that, I already knew his financial situation. People think Pharoah has $1 million. Well, no, he don't. That's why his baby mama, is in medical assistant, some kind of CNA school. She needs to work. He's not going to just take. That's why she's in that school. Plus, she wants to build up a channel. But Pharoah was talking about he couldn't buy a house because of these bullshit ass reasons, right? And people are acting like Pharaoh's net worth is, someone said $1 million. Someone else said 500,000. Straight 100% bullshit. Okay? Now, you don't qualify for a home because you don't qualify. When you submit that loan application, it goes through steps and then it goes to the underwriter. And once the economy went bad, when Obama came in office, they stopped doing them easy bad loans that made the economy bad. They're strict right now. You're not getting a house unless you make 3 times as much as the house is worth. And you have to show, you have to show your income how you're going to pay that note. If you can't show your income, you can't show a job, you can't show a successful business, and you don't have, all the bank statements for that business, you're not going to get a house. It has nothing to do with your color, right? So, in other words, he doesn't have cash to buy a house, or he would have bought one. He wouldn't be trying to get a loan for a home. And they're not going to give you a loan based off YouTube income. You can't buy a house based on YouTube income because that's not a job. YouTube can shut you down tomorrow, and then what? So in the underwriter's eyes, they're not going to qualify you for a home loan off of YouTube money or off of what you say. So when I used to do real estate, a little over 10 years ago, I bought a house in Carson by myself. The house was $515,000. It was a 4-bedroom house and 2-story house in Carson. The master bedroom was upstairs, plush and everything. People know me now. I wouldn't lie like that. I wouldn't even lie to my. No. So I bought this house by myself. But as a realtor and loan officer, which I did more refinancing and home loans, we're still considered self-employed. So I don't have a job where I'm getting a paycheck stub. I'm getting commission check stubs. But what you have to do is, at that time, they would use your bank statements as income. So I had to give them 24 months bank statements, which shows how much you're depositing every month in the bank. They seen every month Chief X was getting 10 grand every month. When I close a loan, I refi somebody $3,000, home loan $5,000. But I was getting $9,000-$10,000 a month. So when I turned in my loan application, okay, yeah, he got 24 months bank statements showing that he deposits at least $9,000 to $10,000 a month. That was enough to qualify for the house. Pharoah has no paper trail like that. So he would have to buy a house cash, which he doesn't have. And if people claim like he had $700,000, he's worth it, he would buy a house cash in the South. He don't have that kind of money, so he can't buy a house cash, so he has to rent like everybody else. And then he got his girl to A-R-M-B, I don't know how you pronounce that. And bought her a car, in his name. It's not in her name. He's a control freak. But it's not in her name because she didn't have a license at the time. But she has a license now. But it's still not in her name, even though she has a license. So he lets her use the car to move around and transport the kids. Total control freak. If you don't follow what I do, get out the house. She said he's put her out the house 3 different times. Now, what kind of man does this to a young woman with 2 kids? To a young 19 and 18-year-old woman with 2 of your kids, you putting her in and out the house 3 and 4 different times. This time for good. Got her Airbnb. Then you won't let her get her shit out the house unless she apologizes for shit you done. See, these are the people conscious community look up to. Demons. Young Pharoah is a demon. Polite is a demon. They're birds of the same feather. Both of them suspect. But I wonder how Cyrus Sutin said it. But let me just mention this about Polite. Polite, the reason why polygyny works with Polite and several other people, and the reason why it works is because the women are bisexual. So in 2001, a polygynous system can work for some people because most polygynous relationship, 90% of the time, y'all not wise enough to know this, but just let me give you some fucking game. 90% of the time, the woman is bisexual. So she's okay with bringing another woman in the round, and they party and play together. This is how Polite's wives are. They're bisexual women. And they're okay with Polite meeting many, many women, beautiful women, rich women, or whatever the fuck. They're okay with that because they all join in and share and party together. Like, bring us some home, Polite, let's have some fun. That's what goes down. I seen Polite's stepdaughter when I was filming over there. She's an adult, so I'm not talking about no kid. Calm down. LBGT friends. That's all she had in tow with her. They're all into the LBGT world in West LA and Hollywood. Polite knows this. I was born and raised here. I know my city. I know what Polite is. I know what he does around in this motherfucking county. Okay? So those are Polite's intimate friends. They're not his wives because he's not legally married. Young Pharoah is not legally married. These are all young folk, intimate friends playing and partying around together and sleeping around and fucking each other, bumping pussies and doing all kind of shit. That's what's going on in Hollywood with Polite. That's why his wives allow it, because they love it and they're bisexual. If you didn't know. Polite ain't gonna keep it real with you. So, it's not working well with Pharoah because he's a little more younger. He's not as wise and as slick with it. And he doesn't know how to go about it. And he doesn't really have that gift of gab, where you can get at a chick and make her feel comfortable and do things in a responsible way. He's a wild one. It's over control. Do you understand what I'm saying? What people saying up in these comments? Somebody said, "Ron, young fella that brought that BS to Houston." Yeah, he moved to Houston. So if people are saying your net worth is such and such, then you should be able to go to the South from New York's high ass and buy a house cash or find one cash. Even if you had 60% to put down, he can still finagle it. But he's not putting no 60% down because he doesn't have 60% to put down. Don't think these big YouTubers, there's YouTubers that make a lot of money, but don't think of these people because they got a whole bunch of followers that they just making a bunch of money. They'll make money off sales and gullible people buying stuff off their website and shit like that. You know. I'm just reading comments right now. I'm scrolling on my phone. We should say keep it gang TV. I wish somebody recorded that Polite Bennett dialogue. Garfield took that shit down because he's Polite's boy. He kisses Polite's ass, and Polite told Garfield to take that video down because it's embarrassing. And Garfield took that shit down. But he didn't take the one down with Bennett and Shaka almost going crazy. So his reason for taking it down because it was just too much arguing. Well, take them all down because there's a bunch of arguing. You don't protect this nigga because he got embarrassed and then you take his shit down. Would you say, I think about it. What happened, y'all, what happened to that pretty light-skinned chick that Sonetta interviewed a few months ago? He used to have her all over his page. I think you're talking about Nepal. That's actually, Sonetta's into polygyny too. That's his wife. Sonetta has two girls. He has one wife and a girlfriend. Shit, I got a lady friend and a side chick. I mean, it's nothing to brag about. I'm shit. Now, day of reckoning. This is what I tell people. A day of reckoning. When you come on a live stream that's been going live, you can easily move that arrow back. You don't have to listen to us in real time. Move that line back and watch from the beginning. Then you would have heard everything. This is Chief X. I don't just make up stuff. Yeah, just rewind it or click off and watch it when it goes off if you didn't get the beginning. Man, people come in half in the middle of a stream and start telling you what you talking about. Malik Amar, I'm dead serious. I mean, what up anyway? Yeah, I don't fuck with polite. That's these other niggas. I've never been starstruck in my life, and I don't consider him a star, but a lot of y'all do. I hear y'all say celebrity. Now, see, my brother used to do celebrity photography, and me and my brother used to get press and media passes everywhere, take pictures. I got pictures with all kind of motherfuckers. I don't be. It's no big deal to me. We used to go to events. Hey, Xavier, you want to go here? I'm cool. It was the Source Awards. Hell yeah, I want to go to the Source Awards. Had my media pass on and shit. I'm at the Source Awards when they had the Source Awards. I'm standing there by the red carpet and shit, faking and shit. Got a camera bag and shit like I'm a real cameraman and shit. And I get on. Let me tell you something. This is what I always remember about being on the red carpet at the Source Awards with my media pass. All these celebrities was coming, right? And getting out the cars, and then the media would flock to them, taking pictures. I don't care what celebrity. I don't care if it was a NBA player, R. Kelly, or whoever the fuck it was. When Janet Jackson pulled up, everybody left everybody, and it was all eyes on Janet Jackson. That's why I say Janet Jackson is royalty. Janet Jackson pulled up, everything shut down. Fuck you, Kobe. Fuck you. Everybody's over at Janet Jackson. I said, damn. I didn't know how much people love Janet Jackson until that day. But yeah, so I've never been like Star. I don't give a fuck about. I wouldn't give a fuck if I was never on Sonnet or TV again. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm my own man and grown. I don't make money off nobody in the conscious community. It's nothing, no conscious shit I sell. Or I always tell people, if you're gonna sell a product or be in business, whatever product you sell should be universal. It should be a product meant for all humans. That means you're gonna make more money. If you got a product that you're selling that's just focused on and meant for so-called conscious community or segment of community, this product is just for black folk, you're not gonna make as much money. You're limiting yourself. Plus, majority of conscious community are broke. So like my CBD Hemp Life, my CBD site, I have a business page, Hemp Life 7, Life with the Y is my Instagram. Hemp Life 7 with the Y. I've only requested business people, white folk, because that's my business page and they got the money and y'all don't really support like that. So my product is universal. Whatever I sell is universal. I sell moringa. Moringa I don't sell much, but it's in a store. I might get like $400 a month from moringa. No, that's just a little extra side money. And I don't even promote moringa like that. I don't sit here and lie about moringa. Moringa ain't gonna heal shit. Moringa ain't gonna cure a motherfucking thing. Moringa will provide you some minerals and some minute nutrients that you may not have gotten from regular food. It's also pretty good for blood pressure in people with diabetes, but it's not gonna heal or cure shit. It's a mineral rich plant. So if you missed some minerals from a meal, you'll get it in the moringa. You get what I'm saying? I don't lie about anything I sell. I don't exaggerate. I ain't lying to make no money. Because some people was talking that shit. Xavier scamming people with moringa. You can't find me nowhere saying moringa cures or heals anything. I don't lie to make money. When I first started selling moringa, I believed in it then, but that was 7, 8 years ago. I've changed. So you don't see me pumping moringa and talking that dumb shit like these other herbalists. I'm not that guy. But I still sell it because people want it and buy it, and it's in a store. Why not keep getting my money? But I don't lie about it. Yeah, that's polite. Polite, and all his women are bisexual women, and they have fun together, and that's why Polite is allowed to do what he do. It's not what y'all think. Niggas ain't got that much game. I'm telling you, I got some partners with some real game, and living a polygynous life with two real women, and he works his, and they not bisexual, and you know they do their thing. So what you guys are basically seeing is people partying together, and intimate friends and shit. So sometimes you may have a commitment with your intimate friend, but not be your wife. A lot of times I always tell people, and they don't even like always live together. And they got side pieces too. You think Polite's the only one with side pieces? Polite's wives have side pieces. And he knows it. I wouldn't bullshit you. So that ain't the kind of polygyny I would leave because I'm territorial. My woman can't have no side piece. That's just me. I can't take it. When I met my lady, I told my lady up front, babe, I'm a flirt. I'm a flirt. I'm a stone cold flirt. That's just my personality. I can't change. I'm flirtatious. I'm flirtatious on Facebook. Me and my woman 5 years ago didn't make it because she was sweating me about Facebook and what I post on Facebook. She would go through women's pictures who were pretty on my friends list. She would go through their pictures and see if I liked button the picture or see if I complimented another sister. Drove me crazy. Argument every other day. But I learned to be real honest. Like the lady friend I'm with now, baby. But I told her that, my other one that I broke up with. But she knew up front. I told her I'm a flirt. This is what's happening. I'm not perfect, but I'm way above average. I let them know off the rip day one. I'm not perfect, but I'm way above average. So if I fuck up along our journey of love, baby, you got to give me a pass. I told you I wasn't perfect. I put myself on the line. I'm a flirt. I'm flirtatious, but I don't mean nothing by it. Sometimes I just flirting, talking shit, and done, and ain't gonna bust a grape. I'm just flirting, ain't gonna bust a grape. I'm gonna sit right here at home. I don't even club no more. So when Kevin Samuels say men exercise their options, but you got to exercise your options responsibly, not wild. See, men cheat, but every man has their own frequency. Some men may cheat every week. Some men may cheat once a month. Some men may cheat once a year, but they all cheat. It's just the men with the frequencies, just raggedy with it all the time, who get caught up. A man who cheat once a year will never, ever, ever, ever get caught. Once a year, he just decided to go out here and have a new flavor. Now, today at 50, I ain't like I used to be when I was 20s and 30s. But I can be easily triggered. I've always been easily triggered by a big butt and a smile. But people have to go about things differently. Like when I was in serious committed relationship, if I did cheat, I never wined and dined another woman outside of my relationship. I never spent the night away from home. when I was in a relationship. I had tact, right? So if I messed around or messed with another woman, it was just for 2 hours, bam, and I'm going back home. Bitch, where we meeting at? I'm coming over. We having 2 hours of excitement, 2 hours of entertainment, and I'm coming home. You understand what I'm saying? So some guys just sloppy. Some guys just cheating and putting numbers in their pocket. You see shit all in their pocket, all on their phone. They ain't erasing text. Just sloppy and irresponsible. You know? So it's just how you go about it. We do what we do. It's just how you go about it with respect or not. How do I stop this video? Okay. So I can't even see the comments. Let me see if I can see some comments. Who's talking to me? There we go. What's up, Jesus Price? I haven't read. When I talk, I don't. A lot of people be reading comments, and I can't read comments and talk. I'm unfocused. So if I stop talking, then I'm reading comments. So if anybody asks me something, I didn't see it or read it. So let me just go through this. Yeah, Seti, I know Seti's sitting back like, what the fuck? But I'm sure you already know. I'm still wondering. I'm not even going to go on Seti. It's shit. Seti got skeletons in his closet way worse than Pharoah. And I'm not even going to go there. I have before, people didn't catch it, but I'm not going to go there before. But I'm still wondering, what the fuck was young Pharoah and Seti back in the day staying in a hotel room together doing a live stream with their damn shirts off together in a hotel? I'm not staying in a hotel with another nigga. You get a room here and I'll be in the next room. But we're not splitting a room because we broke. We just won't get a fucking room. I'm still to this day wondering how two niggas was in a hotel room together with their goddamn shirts off doing a live stream. Y'all don't remember that? Y'all new niggas. Yeah, it's just something. What's up, George Garrison? They gave me a 30-day restriction on Facebook last week, so I can't get back on Facebook for another, I think, 25 days now. They gave me 30 days, so I gotta entertain and act a fool on YouTube. It's like my third time going live on YouTube. I'm not like a YouTuber. Oh, this is what I was saying earlier. But I'm seriously thinking about becoming a YouTuber. I just monetized my goddamn YouTube channel the other day, last week. I got $45 sitting in there. YouTube gonna send me. But I'm seriously thinking about, and the reason I'm seriously thinking about starting an MMA channel. MMA with Chief X. Because that's a sport I know well. It's a sport I followed since day one. Boxing used to be my favorite sport. Then basketball. But UFC has surpassed that. MMA has surpassed that. Their production and their shows is like no other. A boxing production is nothing like MMA show production put together. That's why MMA is the fastest growing sport in the world right now. MMA will surpass boxing in a few years to come. So, since I'm well learned and well versed on the sport of MMA, I know all the fighters. I know all the moves and techniques that they do. I used to go to a dojo out here in LA when the sport came out. No, this is around 2000, but the sport came out in the 90s. But every time I go to the dojo, I remember I squared off with the, I'm just storytelling now. I remember I squared off with the instructor, right? He knew jujitsu, and I think he used to be taekwondo. So he was good with joint locks and things like that. He was good with kicks. I was never a kicker, striker. I used to box. So we squared off just to kind of play around in the gym in front of his class. Because he knew I used to wrestle. So he come at me and we just... Then I ducked up under him and spent around him in front of the class and got behind him. The whole class was like, ah! Then he did some move and had my ankle twisted. I had to quit, and my ankle was sore for a week. So it was that sport was too, at that time in my life, too hardcore. Plus, I was out of shape. I was smoking cigarettes. Then I used to go to this gym in Hawaiian Gardens, and they had the youngsters sparring and boxing. So I got in good where I can come in just to keep in shape. I would spar about 3 rounds sometimes when I come. That's just how I kind of kept in shape. And yeah, but the sport of MMA, I know like the back of my hand. And the MMA crowd is huge. So I think beginning of 2022, I'm gonna have an MMA channel. It's gonna be MMA with Chief X, and I think it'll really grow. Hey, Egyptologist 7. Somebody asked, do I ship out the U.S.? Yes, I do. Um, Now, I have several hustles and businesses. Soon I'll have a legit license for distributor and delivery service for cannabis in the state of California. I paid $15,000 fees already. People don't know I'm about to be a million. Y'all gonna see me in the news next year or two. It's gonna be old. But my CBD hemp life business, it does ship overseas. But also underground, low key. Everybody knows I sell anything cannabis related. Edibles, weed, whatever, all kind of edibles. Honey, popcorn, gummies, chocolate bars. Oh, 1 second. I sell the cannabis drinks, the G2s. Hold on. This is my underground hustle. This is my money maker. I sell the chocolate bars. This is the almond nut toffee THC bar, 210 milligrams. I sell the milk chocolate. These are the two best flavors. They have the other flavors, but these are my two best flavors. This is my favorite. But actually, this chocolate bar is my favorite edible of all times because it used to be made by a company called Liquid Gold. They kind of went underground too because the laws changed. But they used to win the Cannabis Cup for the best infused cannabis chocolate bar because they use gourmet chocolate. And this shit right here is delicious. So I like them both. I switch off. Also, I do the gummies. I got different flavors of gummies, and these are quality gummies. This ain't that shit y'all be seeing on Instagram, right? They be selling edibles all on Instagram. All that shit is knockoff. It's cheap shit. You gotta eat the whole fucking bag to get high. With this, it's 10 gummies in it. 1 out of the 10 gummies you eat gonna have your ass lit. Because edibles is a milligram thing. So I gotta teach people about edibles and how to consume it, ingest it. You don't just eat. Like if somebody made a cookie at home, you don't just eat the whole cookie. Edibles are not meant for you to eat the whole item. That's why people say, I don't want no more edibles. I was too fucked up. They just didn't know edibles is about milligrams. It's just like when you get a bottle of medicine. You don't fuck around and take the whole bottle of medicine the doctor give you. You take a couple capsules out and it takes so many milligrams. Same thing with edibles. It's different than smoking. Let me show you something else before I go. Hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. I sell the syrup, THC infused syrup. I got the THC infused honey. Now this honey is 1,000 milligrams. You dip this a little bit of this in my baby. You dip a little bit of this out and put in your tea. Older women love this honey. Even older women who've never smoked weed before in their life, and I let them know about edibles. I need something for my pain. I said, sweetie, just take a little bit of this out, put it in your tea, and drink you some tea. Older women fall in love with this motherfucking honey. I put it in my coffee, or sometimes I just drink it, or just lick it straight out the goddamn jar. I might make a little thing of oatmeal at night, put a little bit of this in it. So yeah, this is what. So the money I make ain't got nothing to do with y'all. But somebody asked me, do I ship? I ship all this shit. I always leave my email in the goddamn description. My social media, my Facebook friends know. They buy all this shit from me. So I don't depend on nobody's cash app. That's why I can talk freely. Because my money's not made off the conscious community. You understand what I'm saying? So I can talk that shit. I can expose shit and not be afraid of getting canceled. They've canceled me. I don't give a fuck. Do you think I care? Watch me next year when I'm counting $1 million in your face and you see me in the news with the marijuana delivery service and distribution business in California. And you see me balling out of motherfucking control. I'm really not gonna give a fuck, dear. I was joking with my Facebook friend. I said, see, when I get rich, I'm gonna have my nose high in the goddamn air. If it rain, I'm gonna drown. I'm gonna be uppity as hell. I'm just playing. Yeah, so I do ship because somebody did ask me that. Daily. That's all I do for a living. Look. Wait a minute, look. I work about 2 hours a day. I get up, drink my damn coffee, and guess what? Mail people shit. That's why I get these envelopes in bulk, because I gotta mail a lot of shit. I do more business than anybody in the goddamn community, but people want to front and act like Chief be tripping. Now, I've been trying to show y'all how to be a businessman forever. Niggas ain't never cared about business. Right? I ship wholesale. I ship cases of this wholesale. This is how cold-blooded I am. I would like to say I got 25 employees, black folk that I employ and help feed their family. But it's not that kind of thing. But I got about 25 people I ship cases to wholesale. And they sell this shit and feed their family. I help about 25 black folk feed their family on a monthly basis. Y'all didn't know that. So if I don't have my email in this video, if you email me and hit me up, leave me a number, I'll give you my number. We can talk business and do business. And this, I've been telling people forever, the money is in edibles. I sell weed too. Everybody sells weed though, but everybody don't sell quality edibles. That's where the money is. Everybody who I tried to teach and get, I said, bro, fuck all that. No, do this, bro. I'll send you, and I send people on consignment. That's why me and Ankh fell out now. Not because of this, but I sent Ankh a case of moringa on consignment. He was supposed to sell it and give me half the money back, and never did. That's why me and Ankh fell out, if anybody didn't know. On top of that, he tried to protect Asar and his fake linguistics when I was going in on Asar and exposing Asar and his fake linguistics. And he came at me twice hard on a live and cussed me out on a live twice. So 3 offenses that Ankh did to me first, and then I start going in on him. So if I go in on somebody, I got a goddamn right to, and it's a reason behind it. They disrespected me and my kindness. So I've gotten people started on consignment on this. I said, just these are the two best sellers: the gummies and the chocolate bar. I got the honey, the syrup, and all that, the drink, the juice, and all that. These are the two best sellers. I'll send you a case of 25 on consignment. Shoot me half the money back, and you're off rolling. And these 25 people have been rolling with me for years, feeding their family. Several have even quit their job, and this is what we do. Y'all ain't got anybody you employing in the conscious community? All these shit talking ass niggas helping families? Chief X was a youth counselor for a whole decade. I was gonna take a time to tell you about myself, but I don't. Do I got time now? People might not be interested. But if I really tell you my life, none of these cats talking about what kind of work you done. You put in work. What are you doing in the community? None of these cats can step to me or do anything close to what I've done or have done anything close to what I've done. And I don't even brag about it. I was a youth counselor for 10 years. Every day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6, I'm in a youth face. I'm in an at-risk youth face, counseling and talking and improving his life. If I go to the mall, Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall, I always say this, it's going to be a 30 or 40-year-old young man run up on me. I remember you. You helped me with this. You did this for me. You took me there. They wouldn't take me to get no clothing. You did this. Bro, I was a youth counselor for 10 years. Every day of my life for 10 years, fucking with hands-on with kids. If I had pictures and it was today's time, y'all would think I'm just the greatest youth worker guy working with kids in the world and helping out the community. But I don't have those pictures now back in the day. None of these cats can fuck with me and have done half the things I've done. They're just talking. Chief X has never been just a talker. Like people be talking all this shit. Niggas like it in New York. Attorney Malik Shabazz throws a gang summit. 20 people come and shit. I was just playing. Some people come. I said, where the gangsters at? This is a gang summit and shit in New York. I said, nigga in New York talking about 60s and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, see, I'm a Cali cat. Rolling 60 hood is not too far from me right now. So every time I listen to a nigga in New York and other states talking about rolling 60 cuz, I be like, huh? What kind of fake shit is it? To me, that's how some of us feel. They kind of want to be fake shit. Rolling 60 in New York. What the fuck? So I'm watching the gang summit that Attorney Shabazz put on, barely put on. I'm like, where'd all the gangbangers at? I didn't see no red, blue people, niggas on. You throwing a gang summit out here, it's on. I didn't see no people in red. Like, these niggas having a party out here smoking weed together and getting together and networking. That's all. Gang summit. You know what I mean? So these cats go to an event once every 6 months for about the youth in the streets and shit. Oh, we had the gang summit. Yeah, we putting in work. Look here, bro. My lady friend's an assistant principal in the Compton Unified School District. You know how many kids she worked with and talked to and helped? You know how many graduations she put on her little scholar robe thing on and have her cap and gown thing on at the end of the year, and she talked to all these hundreds, thousands of kids and shit every day as a vice principal. She used to be a teacher working with kids. Me every day as a youth counselor back in the day, every day working with kids on a daily basis. So I laugh when you guys talk about I'm putting in work shit. I've put in work. My lady friend puts in work on a daily basis every day. Not once every 6 months at some fucking gang summit you guys crying about. Where only 30 people show up to. And the majority of those people is conscious niggas like Sinetter, Garfield, and some Moors and shit. And they out there talking shit, smoking weed and shit and partying. Y'all put in some real work. You don't put in no work unless you in a kid's head. giving him life information and talking game. Not at a gang summit, rapping on the mark and partying and niggas in the parking lot smoking weed together. That ain't getting in the kid's head. And then here y'all is up here telling war stories, how you was locked up in prison and how you was down and all this old shit. I was 10 toes down and shit, and I was locked up, I did 20. You just telling war stories. In kids' mind, that's exciting. They might want to go out and do that shit. Oh, they see you got away with it? Oh, y'all want to... No, you got to get into a kid's mind and talk that psychology. Why is your life like this? What's up with your mama and daddy and your aunties? I'm talking about some real therapy and counseling. When I got clean in 1993 from drugs, I was on crack. I got off crack in 92, 93. After that, I used to be a GSR. They call that a group service representative. I was of service to those who wanted to get clean also and who was still struggling and had drug problems. So I used to go to NA and AA meetings every fucking week for several years. And I might be the speaker for the day, giving my story and what happened to me and how I got clean and how you should do it now. You understand what I'm saying? Every day, talking to women and children. Even in the program, therapy and counseling, I'm in sessions with women and children. You niggas ain't done no real work and ain't even been around no goddamn real work. And that's where all this wisdom I got today come from. You understand me? So if anybody want to do business, email me. We can exchange numbers. I gave my number out on a video 3 days ago. And I was talking, and I wanted Pastor Bennett to reach out to me. I gave my number out. About 4 motherfuckers called me. I'm like, who are these people? So I don't want to give my number out no more. So my email is in the description. It will be in this description, but it's in the description of other videos if people want to make money. But let me see and ask some questions before I get up out of here. If anybody said something. Oh, somebody asked me what astrology sign I am. Now, I'm not into that, but the only pseudo statement I always make is Capricorn is the best sign a human being can be. If you're not a Capricorn, my condolences. So yeah, I'm a Capricorn, baby. The best thing a human can be. Somebody said he was grooming that boy. Basically. Oh, them niggas suspect. I'm not even gonna go into the stories like that. Education and learning, yeah, grappling. Grappling is my sport. See, when I watch the UFC, it's not boring to me. When they get the wrestling and grappling, it's a technical fight to me because I used to wrestle, so I understand what they're doing. And I'm reconnecting. There I go. Yeah, somebody said, tell us the importance of science for black folk. Science, STEM, is the most important thing in the future. Not the future, excuse me. Nothing's going to make a people progress. Nothing's going to make a nation progress except science. That's it. All these beliefs, like, me and Jabari had a debate. I was showing that. The most spiritual nations are the poorest nations. It just is what it is. So, people talk this, let's go back to how the ancestors used to think and stuff like that. No, nobody. Them was some over spiritual, spooky people in Africa. And still today, people avoid that subject. All the Ifa, a lot of that stuff is spooky, anti-science rhetoric. And that's why they don't give a fuck how spiritual you are. White folk came up in Africa with science. And that science is called the gun. Let me tell you what that science is called. Oh. The white man, that Europeans said, we embracing science here and we're going to take over the world. Science is why they're winning. And the white man came up in Africa with science. That's the how that white man came up in Africa, with this motherfucking science right here. And science and technology kicked Africa's ass. I don't want to go back to the old ways. This is science. This is technology. See, our people was on that fuck shit and wasn't up on the technology. People was on that spiritual shit and wasn't on that science. Oh, let me show off my other thing. Hold on. Hold on. This is some more science. Science. That's what the key is. Fucking science. Everything today is science based. Like you can't even see. I got science in my pocket. Science. This is the baby. Science. Let me stop clowning, y'all, and put my shit up. This is my baby right here. Y'all know I'm a 2A supporter. So I'm into guns. I go to the range and shit. This is the 357. This is called a Model 586. It's a 357 Magnum. This is a 38 Special. This is a Model 10. When you see one Adam 12 and police and shit like them old police, this is what they had. This is my most accurate gun too, by the way. You see that handle? I changed the handle. That motherfucker cold, ain't it? I don't know if you can see it good. First I had the brown handles on there, but I remodeled and I put that black wood on there. Ooh, if you're a 2A person, you would love this. So this is a 357. This is the most powerful one I have. I'm gonna get 2 more, and that's it. But when I play with it and I show it and I talk about it, the 357 Magnum, it came out because police had to fight the bad guy. They didn't have powerful enough guns sometimes, and they needed something that would go through a fucking windshield and go through car doors and shit like that. And that's when they came with the 357 Magnum, right? Wait a minute. You like that grip? This was the original grip on it. But I said something about that burgundy on that black, on that blue gun. It's just beautiful. Without science, you're getting conquered, abused, and everything. Without science, you ain't building nothing. When I went to Ghana, right? I uploaded a video people mad at a few minutes ago. But here's the thing. When I went to Ghana, the Ghanaians told me when I was on certain tours, I was walking through this beautiful park. And they had all these old trees and different plants. And they was explaining these plants and the landscaping of this tour was just fucking beautiful, right? And them Ghanaians told me, this is not me saying it. So sometimes I say stuff to y'all that Ghanaians said to me, and y'all get offended by it. Like when I was saying, the Ghanaians practiced slavery before the white man touched the shores. Indigenous slavery. And where I got this book. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. So that when I got this book in Ghana by the Ghanaian scholars, this author went to Ghanaian University. People got mad that I bought this book and started talking about it when I came back. Because the Ghanaians teach that they had indigenous slavery before the white man hit the shores. So when I came back to the States teaching what Ghanaian scholars teach, because Ghanaian scholars speak and teach a little differently than African American scholars. They know about Ghana better than African American scholars. So don't listen to them. At least listen to me. They told me, right when I was leaving out the slave dungeons, they were selling these books. And the guys, they said, we was practicing indigenous slavery in Ghana before the white man. They told me that. They said when the Portuguese man hit their shore in late 1400, they didn't come to enslave anyone. They came to do business and trade. But when they knew slavery was going on around the world with other kind of cultures, North Africans was enslaving white folk for into the millions. Everybody had their turn, had nothing to do with race at all. Our slavery had nothing to do with race. I've been learning about this. It had to do with being a weak people. All weak people in history, another nation conquered them and took over or enslaved them. Whites enslaved other whites who were weak. North American nations enslaved white folk, called the Barbary slavery. Look it up. Muslims enslaved others. Muslims enslaved Africans. So when the Portuguese hit the damn shore, they came to do business and trade. But when they got there, they was like, God damn, you guys got slaves. Time passed. They doing business. Well, goddamn, we coming back and forth, and well, shit, hell, we need some slaves. It's a new world going on. We need to get some labor, some free labor in the new world. Well, can we get some slaves? African chiefs. Yeah, sure. Let's do some business, African chiefs. Let's do some business. They taught the white boy about indentured slavery too and all kind of shit. People don't even want to talk about this story. People got mad when I got this book and started talking about it. They say, oh, hell. Yeah, what can... And the Ghanaians and then Portuguese, later on the Dutch, they got together and built the slave castles together. People think just the white man came over there, fucked them up, and just said, we building slave castles and we just taking y'all. No, baby. This was a together effort to make money and hustle. Them African chiefs was selling the slaves that they already have. That's why I always tell people, you niggas ain't no kings and queens. You come from a slave caste in West Africa. Yeah, you was a slave caste in West Africa, and the vast majority of African Americans here came from a slave class or low class that was already in West Africa. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Now, people argue the difference. Oh, help slave was worse. This is what people get caught up. Oh, well, the transatlantic slave trade slavery worse. Yeah, it was. Nobody's arguing it wasn't worse. I'm just saying slavery is slavery. And all slavery is bad. I don't want to get into competition of whose slavery was worse. You both was fucking up, enslaving people. Chiefs running up and raiding towns and shit and snatching little girls up to be concubines. Then there his concubine and wife for life. Then she have children as a concubine and her children are born lowly in slavery and then they are slaves in Ghana. This was all before the white man. They've been snatching little girls up in Africa forever. Wickedness. You want to go back to your ways? You want to go back to that African spirituality? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, shit gets deep, man. Shit gets very fucking deep. Somebody said they trying to grill you. Maybe somebody is. I haven't been listening, reading comments. Yeah. So if black people see, this is how you know black people are have been influenced to become serious anti-vaxxers. Most anti-vaxxers are, in general, anti-science. A scientific mind is the greatest mind. You create. You're talking to me now and hearing me now because of science and this technology. So, though a lot of those countries who was really spiritual, like you follow spiritual and y'all think you're the poorest countries in general. Nations that are science-based are thriving. So this is why I push science, man. Fuck that belief, fuck that spirituality shit. You'll get your ass whooped. That's why the white boy, even in the 60s, 4 little girls in the church, will blow that church up and kill all them 4 little girls. Science don't give a fuck about your spirituality. Science is king. The little white boy, well, how long ago was this? 5, 6 years ago? Went up in the church. I forgot to bring this out, me and Jabari's date, but it was on my mind. I just forgot I was going to kill him with this. That white boy that went up in the church, because we had a debate. Me and Jabari had a debate on spirituality versus science, I guess, kind of. And I forgot to tell him that, remember that white boy that walked up in that church and shot all them people? That was science. While people are praying, asking God for blessings and help and protection and the whole, they up in church. And reality don't care nothing about your belief. Reality came up in the motherfucking church with science and said, shut the fuck up, spirituality. Bow, 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 you're dead. In the midst of you praying. Science wins. It shit. Somebody said gun beats spears. Yeah, it do. See, what Africa should have been doing, and we're not going back to no motherfucking African spirituality in the old way. Fuck them up, fuck all that shit. What they should have been doing is networking with them Asians and got that gunpowder technology. That's what they should have been doing. Traveling. That's why when the slave trade started, human trafficking on a large scale did not happen until the improvement of shipbuilding technology. The Portuguese were the first people to advance shipbuilding technology. They were able to cross large body oceans then with boats. Before that, you couldn't cross large body oceans to traffic people to the New World without better shipbuilding technology. See, the Native Americans and the Africans had canoes. A canoe can't get across them waters and traffic to the New World. You would have drowned the first night. I was in the Navy, and when we going on them ships, we had big, huge steel ship, USS Cayuga, LST 1186, Seaman Shelton. That's why we were going on that shit, and them big steel ships, we was doing 45 degrees like this for a whole week before. We had to sleep with our arms and legs out like this, so we won't fall out your goddamn bunk. There was 3 bunks, top, middle, and the lower. And the guy on the top and that middle had to sleep like this. That was me. I was the middle guy. So I won't roll up out of there. They had to tie the whole kitchen down. Sometimes waves would hit that ship. If it's rough waters, you out there deep. I'm talking about you out there so deep, you don't see no land for days. No land. Pitch black and stars at night only. And this boat is rocking. Like, if you fall overboard in the middle of that thing on a cold day, you're going to freeze to death and drown immediately. So a wave hit that ship, bow, water's coming all the time, coming all over it. So when I tell people, nobody came to Americas and was traveling and crossing large body oceans until that point about 1390 is when they began to build ships that were able to cross large body oceans. Until that day, nobody was doing that. No Africans. It was a new world. Nobody crossed that large body oceans. The only way they got up there is through the Bering Straits and came on down from Canada, the United States to Brazil. Before that, nobody was traveling there because nobody had any boats or ships that could do it. Not even Europeans. The Portuguese, science, shipbuilding technology, steamboats and stuff like that, and they developed the technology to cross large body oceans, and that's when human trafficking across large body oceans started. Not before ever. Science whooped Africa's ass. Bottom line. If you're anti-science, you're in the wrong mind state. Bottom line. You're going to lose. Period. All nations that's not scientifically literate and up on it is going to lose. Haiti is going to lose. If you're not able to trade on a world stage and you got sanctions all over and you can't trade the goods and services that your country produces, you're going to remain poor. Slavery wasn't based on no race at all. I had to learn that listening to Thomas Sowell. It had nothing to do with you. Slavery always has to do with a superior nation taking over a weaker nation. Or a scientific nation disrespecting and holding down an unscientific nation. It's about the most powerful taking over the weak. That's what slavery around the world. It's a 4-part documentation on all the slavery around the world, not just the transatlantic slave trade, Barbary slavery, slavery in Islam, slavery they was having in Europe between whites and whites, just slavery in a little bit in the New World, the Native Americans, a little bit. But everybody participated in slavery, the blacks, the whites, the Arabs, everybody did. Everybody is guilty of evil. It just is what it is. But you guys were just the last. So it's stuck in your mind more. We have more documentation on it because it happened in recent times. They didn't give it wasn't about you because you was black. It's because you were weaker. I'm sorry. My email is thirdeyexman@yahoo.com. The word third, the word I, xman@yahoo.com. My power about to go off. I'm down to 5%. I'm about to get off here. It was nice chatting with y'all, and I just wanted to share that shit. I'm out of here.